With the recently released data by our central bank last week, media outlets have been spreading grim headlines as to the prices of real estate. Is it real or is it simply fake news? What is the real state of real estate? I'm Edric Magwan, and this is The Real Deal. Last week, a slew of headlines from our biggest newspapers reported doom and gloom as to the country's real estate situation. The Inquirer reads, "Pandemic hammered PH housing prices in Q2." The business world leads with, "Residential property prices in the second quarter contracted at its steepest rate since 2016." While the Philippine Star states, "The nationwide housing prices in the second quarter this year contracted 9.4% year-on-year, deeper than the 4.2% decline a quarter ago." I know, I can already hear you shouting, "Oh my God, the real estate market is collapsing! Avoid it at all costs!" But before you go on social media to post and share just that, you should know that this doesn't actually mean that real estate has been on a free fall. In fact, when you look at Bangko Central's Residential Real Estate Price Index, or RREPI, which measures changes in price for all types of housing in the country, we will see that as of the second quarter of this year, it is already 3.9% higher compared to the fourth quarter of 2019, our last clean data before the pandemic began. So why do all the headlines say real estate has been dropping for a couple of quarters already? To understand what they mean, let's go back to that Philippine Star article. The nationwide house prices in the second quarter this year contracted by 9.4% year-on-year. This means that on average, the prices of all types of residential real estate in the second quarter of 2021 is lower by 9.4% compared to the second quarter of 2020. While year-on-year data can be useful, we have to scrutinize this with other quantitative data such as the absolute value of the RREPI and qualitative data, or see what was happening during that time that may affect the numbers. When we look at the absolute values, we'll see that the RREPI is actually at its highest level over the past 4 quarters, and it's already slightly higher than the first quarter of 2020. And when we focus on condos, we see that it has been growing for 3 straight quarters. In fact, according to David Lee Chu, president of Lee Chu Properties, the capital values of condos in the 6 major CBDs in Metro Manila have already returned to pre-pandemic levels. If you want to know which locations and developments have strong growth fundamentals, schedule a free consultation with me via the link in the description. So was there really a dip in real estate prices? Well, many needed to sell quickly because of affected personal income due to the ECQ. But let's look at the data. The lowest point during the pandemic was the third quarter of 2020. But you wouldn't know that if you read the recent headlines. If we compare the third quarter of 2020 to the fourth quarter of 2019, the last quarter not affected by the pandemic, the RREPI contracted by just 1.6% for all types of housing. So why is the recent year-on-year data showing such a big drop? For that, let's look at the qualitative data. Let's go back to a year ago. For the second quarter of 2020, the Philippine Star wrote, "Data released by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas yesterday showed that the Residential Real Estate Price Index surged by 27.1%, and this is the highest year-on-year growth rate recorded since the start of the series in Q1 2016, the BSP said in a statement. That's unheard of. In fact, it smells of an extremely noisy data set. Recall that our world practically stopped from March 15 to May 31, 2020 as we were put under ECQ. So how could the most heavily affected quarter due to the ECQ also have the highest ever year-on-year growth? Well, since the Bangko Sentral gets their data from loans granted, many could be spillovers from real estate transactions that were already in heavy negotiation or in process in Q1 but were then put on hold. Adding further to the noise is the fact that the number of loans granted for new housing units for the second quarter of 2020 is only around a third of the number granted in the fourth quarter of 2019. Again, the last quarter not affected by the pandemic. the extremely bloated second quarter of 2020 heavily influenced the contraction rate for the second quarter of 2021, despite the RREPI going up from 132.2 in the first quarter of this year to 138.5 in the second. Today, the RREPI is actually already above what it was during the first quarter of 2020. If you want to learn more about the real estate market and legit investing strategies, hit the subscribe button. So is the real estate market crashing? Well, you'll have to read more than just the headline to find out that we are well on our way to a strong recovery. Thank you for watching. Are you ready to invest in real estate? Let me help you get the property that best suits your goals and maximizes your earning potential. I am affiliated with the most reputable and trusted developers, offering a wide range of affordable to luxury residential developments in Metro Manila and adjacent emerging cities. So sign up now for a free consultation with me by the link in the description. Let's get rich and financially free, one property at a time. Check out my other videos and follow me on Facebook and Instagram for more investment tips.